Welcome to Worlds Collide, a wrestling card podcast for wrestling fans by wrestling fans, featuring Tony Vella from WrestlingTradingCards.com.
This is like a stock market.
And Zhan Morning from Wrestling with Cards on YouTube. And I'm not saying there's a right or wrong answer, I'm just posing the question. Join them as they navigate the world of wrestling cards, helping you build a bigger and better collection and making some money along the way. What's up, wrestling fans? Worlds Collide back again, and we have a new type of show for you today. This is actually Tony's idea from like 6 months ago, and we're just now getting around to it. Yes, guys, this is how busy we are. This is how backed up we get on content. I've received requests. I know Tony's received a few requests from different people saying, you know, this show's missing. Why didn't we do this month? Why did you stop covering this card set? When are you going to do this? And again, guys, like, it's time consuming. We do stuff as we can. Again, there are ways to expedite that process that we've talked about, such as donations that can help us get things out quicker. Or money. Wow. Okay, so leave us a 5-star review for Tony's $1 Million Man karaoke singing contest. Yeah. Let us know what you think about that. That was fantastic.
Man,
what a segue.
I wish we were more like technical and
no.
Wish we were cool.
No.
We had like sound bites. We don't.
No, we don't need that when we have you. You're like the guy from the police academy. No. You got all the sounds.
Yeah, right.
That's all gonna have to be a gimmick now. Every show you gotta come up with a new one.
All right, Miz. Let's go on.
Wow. Talk about a low blow. All right. So today we're going to be doing something called the wrestling card cage match, where we bring 2 different cards to the table. Me and Tony kind of talk about our feelings on both of them. We're going to break it down on a couple of different categories and then see which card we like better. The winner goes on, the loser, well, it gets cut up or burned at the stake by Vegas Dave. That's kind of a insider thing for those of you who know sports cards and Vegas Dave. But we'll see how this goes. Let us know what you guys think of this format as we go ahead. But today we are looking at the 1998 Culture House Kurt Angle, which is an Olympic wrestling card. And I think it's considered, a lot of people consider that as rookie card, and it's debatable, versus the 2002 Fleer Matchmakers dual relic between Kurt Angle and The Rock. So, you got any initial impressions of either of these cards before we start breaking down in categories?
Well, let's just break it down into categories like that, because I know we have that, but yes, I do. I mean, I have different things for both of them.
Okay, let's start with the image. We're going to look at just the actual image of the card first. What do you think of these?
Are you showing them? I can't even see you right now.
No, I don't have them on the screen.
Like, people are listening. It's like, I can't see this, sir. Your show sucks. I don't
probably
like
think
segment.
that anyway.
Well, that particular one you're talking about, that's the one with him. He's in the wrestling moves like that. I mean, it's a classic. I mean, it's a classic amateur type of stuff. I mean, this is a perfect Rob England type of commentary that he could be talking about right here. That's right up his alley. But you know, it's just it's a classic shot. I mean, of him competing in his amateur career.
Yep, and we talk about how we don't like action shots very well. This one's not so bad.
It's not so bad. I mean, it's just, I think it's because of, it's amateur. I think it's because of that. It's kind of what you expect. There's nothing else. There's no posing in amateur. There's no, you know, backstage segments. There's no, you know, up on the turnbuckle. It's none of that stuff. It's, you're there to wrestle. It's amateur. Get the job done. Boom. And so it depicts that time pretty good. I mean, it's good for what it is.
I agree. I think it's a pretty cool looking image that they used. And yeah, so let's move on to the next one, which is another action shot. And I normally do not like action shots, as we've said. This one is hilarious, and I absolutely love it.
I love this shot too.
For those of you who haven't seen it, Kurt is clocking The Rock, and it's like the way that The Rock's body, it looks like it's like going stiff, like he's been knocked out and like about to have a seizure or something.
It does.
Yeah, it's such a cool image, but I think it also has to do with, if you look at the background, you can see the ring ropes, but it's just black. and there's no crowd, there's none of that. So I think that's another reason that it almost looks like a studio shot in a way, because the background is, not really there, and it puts all the focus on the wrestlers. So that's basically all I have to say about that. I love both cards, but
are we talking about the relic version of this card, or
relic
just
version,
the non-relic version?
Relic version.
Okay, because that just, to me, it's like, again, for me, I don't care if that's the rookie card per se. I think there's a 95 card of his as well too, from the Olympic stuff too. So so that would be,
which we'll get into everything you're saying. We'll get into kind of in our towards the end of it.
I love this card. If you're talking about the relic one, because I love the pieces of relic that they used for it, though. That's why I like the image. The image is great. I like it for the same reasons that you like it. I like it because there's no crowd background. It's just a sort of more of a vintagey, classic, all blue singlet that he's wearing, kind of thing. And that look on the Rock's body, his mannerisms, like that. Like he's like just stiff as a board.
Yeah.
But I like that the pieces in it. It's just a Rock shirt and the milk carton.
You mentioned that's the next category, design. So what else do you want to say about the actual card design of the card, not the image? Take the image out of it.
The design itself, I like the card design for that particular thing. I like that it's multicolored. It's got this cool raggedy type of look to it. It's like that. I like that it has it's the relic version of the non-relic version, because there was a matchmaker's chase set in this set, and what they did is they took the chase set and they made it a relic version of it too. But I like it. It's gritty. It's very aggression era type.
Yeah.
So I like it. It depicts the time period very well.
It's one of those things that just really screams Fleer to me. Like Fleer in this period had that design that you see the card and you're like, oh yeah, that's a Fleer card.
It's busy, but it's not busy enough to take it away from what you're looking at.
Right. Yeah, I think they did a good job with singling out the image, and then again, like you said, lining up the relics with each talent and putting them in the same column, like, right underneath the wrestler image, and not just like throwing them on there randomly like what we've seen Topps do. But I mean, I don't think you could have picked a better relic with this milk carton. It's just like, it's one of the top wrestling relics of all time.
I mean, it's surprising. It's my guy that I collect, obviously, Kurt Angle stuff. But it's and I didn't pick this guy. Just so people listening, I didn't pick Kurt Angle for this one. That's all Zhan. What's great about it is that it's just it's got the milk cartons like that, which is something that was really never done before. Having that kind of stuff, it was all T-shirts and ring mats, But when you talk about like one of the greatest pieces put into it for a relic for wrestling, Kurt's been like in a couple of them now, several of them. He's depicted on a card with this one with the gold the metal, the ribbon. And isn't he on one with a steel trash can?
I believe so.
Yeah,
I believe it's in the Fleer. Yeah,
it's just it's incredible what he's part of as far as these things go, and it's just it's so cool. I just think it's really cool. I've seen this card, by the way, before, and I really wish I would have picked it up at the time, because I'm going to regret it forever. There was a time. This piece that was taken out that was used for the milk carton was an autograph piece that Kurt did. So there are some pieces of the milk carton on it that actually have part of his signature on it.
Where did that come from? Do you know?
Don't know where it came from. It came from Fleer. It came from WWE. I have no idea where they got that piece from. But that piece, I've seen it before, where there's a piece like that's a piece of Kurt's signature on there.
So let's move over to the Heroes of Wrestling Culture House card and just the general card design of that. I think it's a great basic design. It's very 90s looking. One thing I like on this, and I don't know that this will appeal to anybody, but it does have the ASICS logo on it. And I know that they're like one of the main like wrestling shoe companies.
Yeah.
So for them to kind of be almost a sponsor of this card, I think is cool. And then I'm
sure because these were basically what they were handed out at the Olympic times like that, or for something. I can't remember what they're done.
Rob England, he's the guy if you guys want more information on that, he'd probably be the one to talk to specifically on how these cards were distributed or whatever. But this kind of takes me back to like, those oddball food products where you have the like Doritos or Carnation or what, all these companies out here that put their logo on the wrestling card. I think this is just, I always thought that was kind of a cool thing. That's just make it a little bit different, but maybe that's just me.
I'm sure contractually there's probably a sponsorship, like you said here, and they had it in there somewhere.
All right, so the last thing we want to talk about looking at these is just kind of the longevity, the legacy, and the long-term value, kind of all that stuff wrapped together on these cards. And just to kind of, I guess, get a preference of what I'm saying. You know, a lot of times in the hobby, you look at a card and it's like, you know what it is right off because it's rare, it's scarce, or maybe it's not. And it's something like the 85 or the 82 Hogan, where it's just so iconic that is the card. So that's kind of what we're talking about when we're comparing both of these cards. So let's start with the Kurt Angle Heroes of Wrestling Culture House. What do you think of that one long term?
I don't have a whole lot of history with the amateur stuff. Like, again, it's another great Rob England type of question. I know that I engaged with Rob at one time about a potential trade for some stuff. So I know that it holds a pretty high value and a high grade. I mean, and we're talking, you know, easily, you know, in the $1,000 range, just like that. So it's not like a cheap card, but it's not, you know, $20,000 card. So that value wise, I think that's going to hold more because it predates his WWF/WWE days. So there's going to be some of that between this and the 95 Olympic card as well. So there's value in that. I mean, I don't know. It's not my flavor. It's not something that I would go after per se. Like, I'm not, as a Kurt Angle collector, I'm not actively looking for this particular card and trying to find it because I have to have it in my collection. I'm more of a Kurt Angle fan of his pro wrestling career as opposed to his amateur career. So this wouldn't really fit in my collection of something that I must have. Would I keep it if I got it? Oh, absolutely I would. But I'm not going to go out of my way searching for it.
Yeah, I don't collect Kurt Angle. Like I'm not like you. I like to have like, I think I have maybe one or two cards of his that I really like. And this is one of those things where it would really just come down to my style of collecting personally. Like, if this is something that's going to fit the PC, or maybe it's a new project I started, or maybe I just want the rookie card, then I think this would fit that profile. I would rather have this than his, what is that? Is it the 99 SmackDown that a lot of people?
No, 2000 No Mercy.
Okay. That's with Taz, right? He's suplexing Taz. Okay. That's the one that a lot of people gravitate to. And like, when I'm, even though like this depicts more of his Olympic or college wrestling kind of, you know, thing, I'd rather have this one than that one because I think this is a better image. I like the design better, and it's just preference. So if I had to have one between like those two, I'd rather have this one. And I don't know, just preference. But let's move on to the next one. And like, this is one of those cards that really does have a chance to be like a long-term almost investment, or long-term important, if you will, because you got The Rock. We just talked on our last episode, but this is your card about how big The Rock has got. You got Kurt Angle, you got a great image, but not only that, Fleer produced some of these really obscure, out of the box thinking when it comes to these relics, and they're not out there. Like, if you can't just go on eBay and find these things. If you do find them, they're expensive. So I think long term this card is going to be something else, because again, you can't hardly find them anywhere, and it's so original for Fleer.
Yeah, and we're doing this as basically, it's, you know, about Kurt Angle cards, two different Kurt Angle cards. This one benefits from the fact that it has The Rock on it too. So it's almost like it's a Kurt Angle card riding the wave of the, you know, the Rock, you know,
let's
rising in value.
Change the booking on the fly, so to speak, since we're talking wrestling. Let's take The Rock out of it and just use the Kurt Angle with that style of relic. I still think my opinion is still the same.
I think it's just, it had obviously a different shot of some kind because we're taking The Rock out of the equation here. But if, or maybe you keep it the same. Maybe it's
let's keep it the same and insert Gilbert.
No, you know what? Just leave it the same. Well, yeah, Gilbert. I don't care. It doesn't matter. You're right. You're right. We're taking The Rock out of the equation. It's like, I still think you're right. I think this card itself, because it's unique in the sense that it has a milk carton of all things, you're taking part of his gimmick that he was using at the time, and you put it into a trading card. Who does that?
Yep.
We really don't see that at all. And it's just, Fleer was way ahead of their time. I mean, I'm doing a whole segment on the WTC one with Jamie Stockers like that from the UK. We're talking about all the Fleer stuff. They were way ahead of their time in putting different things, metal chairs, tables, milk cartons, ribbons, hurricane masks, knee braces, bikini tops. I mean, they had all kinds of unique, cool things that just we don't get anymore in the cards.
Yeah, there's got to be a reason for that too, which I don't know. Maybe I keep wanting to keep like a optimistic approach that Panini's going to do some innovative stuff. Probably not, but we'll see what happens.
I hope so. They paid a lot of money for the license. I would hope they do.
We'll see. All right, so let's close it out. Final thoughts. Which card do you like better overall, and what is your main driving force for your decision?
Matchmakers, no question asked.
Anything that just kind of pushes you over the edge for having it, or just
everything we talk about? I like that it has a relic in it. I like that it's a milk carton type thing. It's different than having a T-shirt. Yes, there's something to be said for the earlier career of Kurt Angle's like that. And as a Kurt Angle collector, like I said, for me, I would gravitate towards this. I used to have this card, not in this, not with the autograph on it, but I used to have this card. And of course, during the time when things happen, life happens, had to sell things. And if I had to choose between the two of them that I would want to have back, if I wanted to have the 98 or this one, I would take this one every time. I think I just would. I would only really take the amateur one if it fell in like part of a lot deal or something like that, or it was like, hey Tony, I know you're a fan. Here, you can have this one. Otherwise, I'm not going to pursue it. To me, it's Matchmaker one all the time because I love that image. And I love that they use a milk carton in it for him.
Well, and no surprise, I have to totally agree with you. And it's because of everything you just said it's the uniqueness, it's the rarity of it. We don't have a print number on these specifically, but you don't see them out on eBay very often. Yeah. If you typically, if you can go out and search on eBay, pick a card, whatever it is, if you can see 5 copies or more, it's not that rare of a card. Whether take grading out of it, take everything, just the card itself. If you see, like I said, at any given time 5 or more, it's not that rare. I couldn't tell you the last time I saw one of these on eBay. I think it was late last year. I saw one pop up that had the ribbon in it from the gold medal, and it sold for several $100s.
Yeah,
in a raw format, wasn't graded or anything. So cards like this, that's kind of, it's the pattern interrupt is what Brett McGrath Stacking Slab shout out. He gets a lot of praise on our shows, but he talks about the pattern interrupt, and that's when you're scrolling through Instagram, or if you see pictures on eBay or Facebook Marketplace or wherever it is you're looking for cards. If you see something that you stop and you're like, whoa, what is this?
Yep.
It makes you, that's what. So when I see that Kurt Angle Culture House, I don't really do that, but I know it's an earlier card. So then that goes back to the whole type of collecting. And I think me and you are both on the same thing, is like, I've gotten to the point where I don't really care about rookie cards. Like, I don't care if it's the first card, or I don't care if it was something that produced last year. If it's of a talent that will either sell really well, or a talent that I personally really like, and it's an image or a type of card that I really like, I'm going to take that every day. You could give me this card, you could cut the top half of it off, and you could use sandpaper on the bottom of it to where it might get a PSA 1. I'll still take that over a PSA 9 Culture House quote rookie card. That's just my perspective. There are people out there who want specific cards and top tier grade, and there's nothing wrong with that either. That's their lane. This is just my preference, but that we're 2 for 2 on this card, so I think this card wins.
Yeah, I think you're right. I just it's just a much better looking card to me. It's like that. And again, like you said, you don't see them very often. So when you do, it tells you something. Obviously, and probably print runs, we don't know. but still, you just, by the fact that you don't see them very often, you know that people love this card and they're going to hold on to it, because it's just such a unique, cool relic type card. It's just I love it. I mean, I would take this every day, twice on Sunday over that Culture House one.
And to go back to the Culture House 1 minute, I'm not saying that's not a rare card, because clearly it's not like you could just get them out of packs. No. But that was the whole idea of the show, was to take 2 cards that you don't see very often, put them together, and kind of go back and forth on it and debate it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of new format of a show. We'll probably do some more of these. Let us know on social media, and let us know in the reviews. You can leave a review for the podcast if you liked it. Let us know if you like this format. If you don't like this format, we can maybe...
and suggest, if you have like 2 cards you want us to compete, suggest something. It'd be great.
Yes, and thank you we put out a poll on one of our This Is Your Card, and you guys came out in full force to show who you wanted us to talk about. So we're going to continue to do polls on Twitter mostly to see what cards you guys want to talk about, what superstars you want to talk about. And again, let us know what you would like to see change in the show. If you think we're doing great, if you think we suck, leave us a review. That helps. Thank you for listening. Tony, you got anything else before we get out of here, and let everybody know where they can find you and everything you're up to?
No, I am a Kurt Angle collector. So if you guys got something you want to hit me up, let me know what you got. But you can get a hold of me. Everything is through WrestlingTradingCards.com. Everything social media wise, all the links, except for my shorts, which got brought up to me. It's all down the bottom there of every page, and you can get a hold of me there. How about you?
Sorry, I was distracted. I was thinking if you had your karaoke links for all of your impersonations, like your soundboards, and
I do not.
This is the gimmick. This is officially the gimmick.
No.
You can find everything I'm doing, Wrestling with Cards, on YouTube, Wrestling with Cards, the podcast. Of course, this podcast, which you should subscribe to. You're already listening to it, so why not subscribe? And you can check links in the show notes to pretty much everything we're doing. I put all those links in there. So if you have any questions, you can find both of our social platforms, WrestlingTradingCards.com, the official PSA wrestling card reference website. I like to continually plug that.
We're getting better at it, man. We're getting better at it. Things are changing. Things are happening. So I suggest people go and check out all the checklists on a regular basis, because things are changing and happening.
We appreciate your guys' time today. Thank you for sticking with us and your continued support for those of you who have been with us since day one. Until next week, keep collecting, having fun. We'll see you.